Many desk workers notice something interesting. Their back feels completely fine in the morning. They sit down, start working, and everything feels normal. But as the day goes on, something slowly changes. By the afternoon, their lower back begins to feel slightly tight. And later in the evening, that tightness becomes more noticeable. What makes this confusing is that nothing around them has really changed. They are still using the same chair, the same desk, the same working position. Yet their lower back suddenly feels more uncomfortable later in the day. But before we look at what is actually building up in your back during the day, there's something interesting about how most people interpret this problem. When people notice this pattern, they often assume something must be wrong with their setup. Some people think their chair is the problem. Others believe their posture must be incorrect. And sometimes people assume their mattress caused the discomfort the night before. But in many cases, none of these factors actually changed during the day. Your chair didn't suddenly get worse. Your desk height didn't suddenly change. And your posture probably didn't change much either. So if nothing around you has changed, what explains the growing tightness later in the day? The answer is something much simpler, something that quietly develops over time while you work. During desk work, your lower back muscles are not completely relaxed. Even when you sit still, the muscles around your spine remain slightly active. Their job is to stabilize the spine and keep your upper body balanced. At first, this small effort is easy for the body to handle. But as the hours pass, those muscles continue working without much variation. They rarely get a chance to fully relax. And little by little, the effort begins to accumulate. This accumulation is subtle. You don't notice it immediately, but it slowly builds throughout the day. So, what's actually causing this? What you are experiencing is often accumulated muscle fatigue. Throughout the day, the small stabilizing muscles around the lower spine are repeatedly engaged to keep the body balanced while sitting. Over time, these muscles begin to lose efficiency. When muscles become fatigued, they tend to feel stiffer and less responsive. Instead of relaxing smoothly, they remain slightly tense. This is why the sensation people notice later in the day often feels like tightness rather than sharp pain. It is simply the body's response to muscles that have been stabilizing the spine for many hours. It is the result of fatigue that has gradually accumulated during the day. This is also why small movements can make such a difference. When you change your sitting position, lean back, or briefly stand up, the load on the lower back shifts. Different muscles begin sharing the work. And the muscles that were previously holding the spine can finally relax for a moment. These short resets interrupt the continuous muscle activity that causes fatigue, which helps prevent the gradual buildup of tension throughout the day. Your lower back does not suddenly become weak in the afternoon. What many desk workers experience is simply fatigue that has been building throughout the day. Understanding this pattern makes it easier to manage. Because sometimes the solution isn't changing everything about how you sit. It's simply allowing your back small moments of recovery during the day.